Hello, I'm Bethany from Bethany Wellness. Join me for this yoga stretch class. Hi friends, I'm so glad you could join me today for this yoga stretch class. So there's a story as to why I'm having a yoga stretch class today. I have to just share, be candid here. I recently started working with a personal trainer because I need to get out of my rut and get a little sore again. I haven't been sore in a really long time, so I don't think I'm pushing myself. So I started working with a personal trainer. Thank you, Roger, for training me. And he asks, well, how often do you stretch? And I gave him the blank stare and I said, well, when I do yoga. So that's how often I stretch. And of course, I know better. I know the benefits of stretching. I know how good it is for range of motion and flexibility, but I don't stretch. So I'm working on it. I want to be able to stretch a little more. So I'm gonna do a little stretch with yoga today. So hopefully this will be beneficial for all of us to get a little more flexible. So items you may wish to gather for this class would be 2 yoga blocks or books and a yoga strap or a blanket or a scarf or a belt. So let's begin. We will start lying down on our mat. Make sure you have your items nearby. Begin to sit to your mat, finding your comfortable position here. Sometimes you need to wiggle a little bit to sink in to your comfortable position. And begin finding your breath, connecting to a nice, steady breathing pattern. Preferably breathing in and out through your nose as you begin. Allowing your breath to draw you into this place, to this present moment. And just notice how your body feels on the mat. Noticing any areas of tension, tightness, discomfort. Let's see if we can open up some of those spaces today through our yoga stretch. And allow your thoughts to clear with each exhale. It's very common to have busy thoughts, especially as we begin to try to quiet our mind, body, and spirit. Yoga means connection of mind, body, and spirit. So allow that connection of your mind, your body, your spirit. And it's in those moments of quiet that you are fostering that connection. Now connect to 3-part breaths. Inhale, let your belly rise first, and let that same breath travel to the middle of your chest, then all the way up underneath your collarbones. Pause for a moment at the top of your inhale before you exhale. And as you exhale, let all 3 parts empty as your breath travels back down to your belly. Take some more of those 3-part breaths, preferably breathing in and out through your nose. If you'd rather exhale out your mouth, that's fine too. One more 3-part breath. And then slowly reach arms overhead, take an overall stretch. You can open your eyes if you had your eyes closed. Good, then release your arms back down by your sides. Good, inhale, rise arms up again, overall stretch. This time point your toes and let your back lift up off of the mat. Good, then exhale, release the arms back down. Again, inhale, rise arms overhead. This time, flex your feet so that your heels are pressing away from you. And I want you to lengthen each leg individually. So right now, lengthening the right leg, kind of stretching through that right heel, and maybe even just hip hiking the left hip up a little bit. So you're shortening on the left side, lengthening on the right. Then exhale, switch sides, lengthen down through the left, hiking the right hip up just a little bit. Do I have a visitor? I feel you. Where are you? And come back to center. Good. And just overall stretch, point your toes. I might have a kitten visiting me today. We have 2 new cats. They're so cute, but they're exploring the outdoors right now. There you are. Hi, McGee. Good. And just staying here, and I'll take your gaze to the right, just turning your head to the right. Hi. And turn your head back to center, then turn your head to the left. So we're just bringing our left ear down towards the ground. Your chin comes towards your shoulder. Nice stretch through the neck. And come back to center. Take your gaze up, drawing your chin up towards the ceiling. So you're looking up, but a little bit maybe even back behind you. Now draw your legs close together. Keep your gaze just neutral now. Begin to draw your hands back behind your head, and with your legs zipped together and your toes flexed up, exhale as you tuck your chin towards your chest and gaze down towards your feet. Stretching through the back of your neck. Using your hands for support. Good, then slowly release, overall stretch. Nice breath in. And then exhale, walk your feet to the mat and hug knees in. Point and flex your toes, do circles with your toes. Rock a little bit from side to side. And release your feet down, cactus your arms, post your arms. So your elbows are bent, palms face up, tops of your hands resting on the ground. And you can choose the height of your elbows here. Maybe it feels better to have them lower than shoulder height, or maybe you'd like them a little higher. Your elbows can be bent, creating a 90 degrees, or maybe you'd rather have 45 degrees. It's a little more gentle. I like to tripod my knees together here and walk my feet out to the wide edges of the mat. You can choose what feels good to you. Nice full breaths here, especially if you want to do those 3-part breaths again. That really helps open the space in the chest and the shoulders, helping to draw those shoulders down and back. Sometimes our shoulders round forward throughout the day. Good, then exhale, hug knees in. Finding your strap or your scarf or your belt. Bring the right foot into your strap and bring the left foot down onto the mat. So you're just supporting yourself with your left foot. Stretch your right leg high using your strap to support the right leg. The right leg is straight. Be mindful of your strap or your belt. It can be creating stress sometimes in the shoulders or the neck to hold. So be sure that you're holding in a way that's the most neutral. The wrists are straight. Maybe elbows are tucked in by your sides to keep those shoulders down. Or maybe you'd like to reach hands up towards the foot. Keeping the right leg extended high. Let the strap pull your foot down, so rather than pressing your foot into the strap, let the strap lengthen the back of your heel, the back of your calf muscle, and of course the hamstrings, the tight, tight hamstrings. Ooh, hi. You want to stretch with me? And from here, slowly lower your leg down to the right side. So you're just stretching the inner thigh and the hip, opening the hip. So this should be comfortable, stopping maybe about halfway. You decide here if you have more range and you'd like to go a little farther. And come back to center. Lower your left leg down onto the mat and then stretch your right leg over across your body to the left side. It's getting a stretch through the right thigh, that lateral part of your thigh, into the IT band. So holding here once again wherever it's comfortable for that strap so that you're not creating tension in the wrists, neck, or shoulders. And bring your leg back to center. Bring the left foot back to the mat, figure 4. Cross the right ankle over your left thigh. And use your hand to press the right leg away from you. Maybe this feels good and you want to stay right here. Maybe you'd like to behind the left leg and hug in towards your torso. This is a nice stretch through the right glutes, the right hip, even into the thigh. Stay with breath. So just notice your breath as you're holding each pose, as you're opening space in any tight areas. If it's difficult to maintain a steady flow of breath, your breath might be telling you something. Maybe this is a little too intense for your body. Maybe you need to back out a little bit and find a more gentle way of holding the pose. Just honor that. Meet yourself where you're at. Good. Uncross figure 4. Hug both knees in. Switching sides. Find your strap. Bring the right foot to the mat. Left foot in. Stretch your left high. And hold here. We're in a spot that's comfortable. Noticing on this side where it feels best. Also noticing the upper body, the wrists, the neck, the shoulders. And slowly lower your leg down to the side, stopping about halfway, deciding where your inner thigh and hip would like to be for this stretch. Be careful to avoid overstretching the inner thigh. That changes the alignment in our knee if we overstretch too much on that inner thigh. And bring your leg back to center. Lower the right leg down first, then cross the left leg over across your body. Feeling a nice stretch through the left lateral thigh, so the outer part of your left leg into that IT band. Good, then come back to center. Bring the right foot to the mat. 4, cross the left ankle over your right thigh. Press the left knee away from you. Decide if that's comfortable or if you'd like to thread your hands behind the right leg and hug in. Looking for the other cat. Where's your brother, McGee? Where's your brother? They're entertaining the 2 kittens. Couple more breaths. And slowly uncross figure four, hug both knees in. You can rock forward and back to rise up to sitting, or you can roll to one side. Good, and then let's come into tabletop. So on your hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's go through some cow-cat breaths. Inhale, let your belly soften down as you gaze up for cow. Exhale as you tuck and round, gazing back for cat and rounding through your shoulders. Go through your own cow-cat, linking your breath with your movement. Finding a comfortable flow, going into the pose as deep or as gentle as you would like. Noticing any areas of tension. One more cow, one more cat. Exhale, sink back, child's pose, sink hips to heels. You can draw your knees wide if that's more comfortable. And keep your forehead resting either down on your block or on the mat, whichever is accessible. Arms reaching overhead. Inhale as you rise up into table. Curl your toes. Let your heels and your arch of your feet get a nice stretch. You can stay right here. Or sometimes it's nice to sit those hips back towards the heels, feeling a deeper stretch. Or my favorite, lifting the knees up off of the mat and coming to a low squat at the bottom of your mat. It's a little more intense, especially if you have tight heels and calf muscles, which I pretty much do every day. So maybe it's because I'm not stretching enough. That's what my personal trainer would tell me. Good, and then slowly shift forward into table. Walking your hands out just a little bit beyond the shoulders, then exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high. And you can pedal this out a little bit, especially this first one. It's nice to kind of bring a little movement. Just find any areas here of tension. Keeping the hips lifted high, so you're kind of sinking your head down in between your shoulders. The torso kind of lengthens here as the tailbone reaches up. Good, then walk feet to the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Here you may wish to have your knees a little bit bent and have your head nice and relaxed. Give your head a nod yes and no. If you have any issues with brittle bones, I would suggest your forward fold would be a halfway lift, which is bringing the hands to the shins and keeping your spine flat. So you decide where you're at today. Give your head a nod yes and no. And inhale, halfway lift. Draw hands to your shins, a nice flat back here. Shoulder blades draw together. Bring arms out to T, rise all the way up, extended mountain. Open arm twist to the right. Bring the right arm behind you, holding here, gazing to the back hand. Hips are forward in your open twist. Inhale back to center, both arms high, gaze up. Exhale, open arm twist to the left. Left arm behind you, gazing back. Good. Inhale back to center, both arms high. Swan dive down, forward fold, exhale. Step left foot back, low lunge. Right foot stays at the top. Release the back knee and feel a nice stretch here. So we're just keeping our hands down for now, finding that stretch through the front left hip flexor. Just staying here for a few breaths. Then inhale, rise both arms high, low crescent lunge. That just gives a little more of an intense stretch through that left hip flexor. Interlace fingers, pointer fingers connecting high. Exhale, side bend to the right, holding here. Good, inhale back to center, release your hands down. Half split, straighten the right leg in front of you. Block here if you would like. This is where I really like to have a block handy, so that I can rest my hands on that block And draw your right hip back a little bit here. You'll notice a better stretch through the back of your right leg. Toes are up, so your toes are looking up to the sky. If you'd rather, you can have hands to hips for this pose, or you can have hands all the way down. That's just a little more intense. For those of you bendy people that are a little more flexible, you're welcome to bring those hands down to the mat. Notice how I don't include myself in the bendy people category, because I'm not so bendy. That's what yoga is helping me with, though. Helping me to feel more flexible, more range of motion. Good, then slowly shift forward, low lunge, back knee lifts up. Step your left foot forward, forward fold, exhale. Give your head a nod, yes and no. See how this fold feels if you can straighten those legs just a little bit more. Inhale, halfway lift, rise hands to shins, creating a number 7 with your body. Both arms come out to T, rise all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, baby back bend. Draw the arms down so you're creating a goalpost. Gaze up, shoulder blades draw together. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, forward fold as you swan dive down. Step your right foot back, low lunge. Left foot's at the top, hands frame your left foot. Option to have blocks here if you'd like to support yourself with the blocks. That can help you access the pose a little deeper. And then release your back knee and stay right here. Hands still supporting you on the mat. Nice stretch through that hip flexor on the right front hip. And rise both arms up, low crescent lunge. Interlace fingers, pointer fingers up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Little deeper stretch. You don't have to side bend as much as if you want a little more gentle stretch. And back to center. Release your hands down. Half split. Straighten the left leg in front of you. Find that block or book here if you'd like. Placing your hands on top of that block. And then left toes are up. Steady breath. One more breath. And slowly shift forward, low lunge. Step your right foot forward, forward fold. Give your head a nod, yes and no. Slowly roll up about halfway and stop right there. Let your chin tuck to chest a little more. Let your arms be heavy. And slowly roll up the rest of the way, one vertebrae at a time. Mountain pose, arms by your sides. Good. Then inhale, rise arms up. Bring left leg in front of you, one-legged mountain. Left toes come up. Step your left foot back, crescent lunge. Nice wide stance. You can take a few extra steps to find that width. Gazing forward, right knee is bent over right ankle. Nice stretch here through the front hip flexor on that left hip. Also through the back heel. And a little bit of strengthening, of course. Open to warrior 2. Back foot rotates. Find your heel arch alignment first. Looking down, you can just make sure that the heel has an imaginary line to the arch of your back foot. Then gaze forward. Reach your fingertips forward, then exhale, extended side angle. Bring your forearm to your right thigh. Lift that left arm high. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Bring the right arm high this time. Left arm comes back behind your leg. Come back to warrior 2. Good, 5-pointed star. Bring both heels in, creating an X with your body. Gaze up. Good, then warrior 2 with the left toes rotated to the back of your mat this time. And draw that right foot in a little bit. Find your heel arch alignment. Then lunge into your left leg, gazing over your left fingers. Reach forward with the left fingertips. Exhale, extended side angle. Left forearm to left leg. Reach that right arm high. Feel that nice stretch through the side body. A little bit of stretch through the outer right ankle too if you have tight ankles. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Right hand to the back of your right leg. Left arm lengthens you high. Good. Then come back to warrior two. Then rise up back to five-pointed star. Heels in, toes out, reaching high, creating an X. Good. Then bring hands to hips. So here's where you'll definitely want a block for the next pose. I would even suggest a wall. If you have a wall close by that you can use, that would be even more beneficial for this pose. It's going to just open a lot more if you have a wall. Since I don't really have the best wall out here, I'm just going to demonstrate this pose without the wall. So come into warrior two with the right toes for your warrior two. The right toes will be out so that you're going to lunge kind of into that right leg. Bring the block in front of your foot about 12 to 16 inches or so. Come into warrior two, feet and legs. Bring the arms out. Whoa, kitty, you're gonna maybe make me fall here. Reach forward first, then exhale, plant your hand on your block, and then coming into half moon, lifting the left leg high and bringing the left arm high. And here, if you have that wall, I want you to really notice drawing your hips and your glutes to the wall and drawing the left shoulder blade back. So you should just feel like this is opening your whole front body, I guess, in this half moon pose. You can gaze down, straight ahead, or up. I'm choosing down because this is a balancing pose for me today. You certainly don't have to do a wall. I love the feeling of this pose against a wall because I just feel like it's a nice stretch, openness, and support. To come out of the pose, gently bend the right leg, coming back into those warrior two feet. Good. How'd that feel? Feel good? And challenging at the same time? Switching sides, warrior 2 feet on the other side. So the left foot is your lead. We're going to be bending into the left leg. Placing the block on the left side this time. Find your warrior 2 feet. Arms come out. Bringing those warrior 2 arms. Reach forward first, then exhale, half moon pose. Bring the hand down first to the block. Lifting the right foot up. The right heel flexes here, and the right hand is lifted up. Taking your gaze forward, down, or up. If you have that wall, seeing if you can draw or rotate the right hip back to the wall, as well as your right shoulder blade. Active right foot, so it's flexed. And if you have that wall, once again, see if you can kind of draw the right heel to the wall. It's almost as if we're between two panes of glass. Couple more breaths. Good. Then slowly release, coming back into that warrior 2 pose. And shaking it all out. Shake your arms, shake your legs. Bear swing if you'd like. Good. And then coming back to your mat, if you left your mat to go to the wall, come into downward facing dog. Lift the right leg high, 3-limb dog, bend the knee, draw your heel to your glute, bring the right knee up to the right wrist for half pigeon. Left leg back behind you on your mat, relaxing that left leg down. Choosing here if you'd like to stay upright, or if you'd like to bring your forearms down to a block, or just come down to the forearms. If your right knee feels any compression, any discomfort, try changing the angle of your shin. You can have less of an angle or more of an angle. If this still isn't comfortable to you, come into the figure 4 pose. We did that at the beginning of class, lying on our back. Just stay with breath. Finding your breathing pattern that is slow and calm and steady. And slowly rise up from your half pigeon. You can come into tabletop or three-limbed dog. And with the right knee bent, do large hip circles out to the side, forward and backwards hip circles. Back to downward facing dog. Other side, left leg lifts high, three-limbed dog. Draw your heel to your glute, open your hip first, and bring the left knee up to the left wrist, half pigeon. Find your comfortable half pigeon on this side. Might be different than the other side. Just go with it, meet yourself where you're at. That's what it's all about. And find your breath. And slowly rising up. Come into tabletop or three-limbed dog. With the left knee bent, do large hip circles out to the side, forward and backward circles. Good, and release to downward facing dog. Release your knees, tabletop. Then come to lying down on your mat. You may wish to have those blocks once again here, or books. As you come to lying down, hug your knees in. And do a little bit of movement with your feet again. And place your feet on the mat. Let the soles of your feet connect as you let your knees open up like a book. And here's where I like to have the blocks supporting my outer legs, just the thighs there. You don't have to have the blocks, I just find it feels more comfortable for me. You can rest your hands on your belly or on your heart center and belly, or just have your arms resting by your sides. Couple more breaths. And slowly draw your knees back together with your feet flat on the mat. Preparing for spinal twist. If you like a deeper twist, have your feet close together. Bring your arms out to T. If you like a gentle twist, walk your feet to the wide edges of your mat. Inhale first and let your legs fall to the left for spinal twist. If you still like it more gentle, have your legs less bent and farther away from your torso. You can gaze up or to the opposite direction of your knees. Inhale, legs to center. Exhale, release your legs to the right, gazing up or to the left. Inhale back to center. Hug both knees in one last time. Then release down for your final surrender pose, Shavasana. So legs can be stretched out here, or maybe it feels better to you to have your legs bent, either one. And begin to connect with your breath, Perhaps closing your eyes if that's comfortable. Settling into your breathing pattern that is slow and calm and steady. Imagine filling up all three parts as you inhale, pausing at the top of your inhale before you exhale. Giving thanks for your practice today, giving thanks for something in your life, giving thanks to God for this movement that you could do in your body today. Giving thanks to God for your body. Allow each breath to draw you into relaxation and each exhale to help you let go, letting go of anything that does not serve you. Let go of anything that interferes with your being present in this relaxation. Allow all the muscles in your face to relax. Your forehead opens, your eyebrows and eyelids are soft, and your nostrils release. Mouth and jaw neutral. Shoulders releasing down, both arms heavy with relaxation, moving to your hands, to the tips of your fingers. Torso sinking down as both hips release a little more. Both legs filled with relaxation, moving to your feet, to the tips of your toes. Your mind, your body, your spirit completely relaxed and at peace. Final surrender, Shavasana. And bring your awareness back as you take a deep breath in. Wiggling your fingers and toes, bend at the wrists and ankles. Take a nice stretch, reaching arms overhead. And then bringing your arms back down, roll to your right side. A couple breaths here. And rise up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much. It was my honor to guide you through this yoga stretch class today. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste. Be well.